Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Helena Reed. If you do, welcome back. Y'all, we're talking about something very special to me. It is my labor and delivery story. I am currently like a month and a week, 2 weeks postpartum. And so it's currently January 26th. 26. Okay, so we're talking about my labor and delivery, and yeah, so boom, I'm gonna give you a backstory if you haven't watched any of my vlogs. If this is y'all first time watching me, right? My name is Helena Reed. I'm 28. I have 3 kids. Zaya Marie is my eldest. She just turned 5 January 3rd. My second is Kaya Reed. She's about to be 4 February 3rd, and then I have my son, my last kid, December 17th. So if you guys are just like pregnant and you want to see like some positive labor and delivery stories, keep watching. Now, y'all heard me say I have 2 other kids, 2 older ones, so they upstairs. Okay, we're actually about to go on a drive and get slushies, but I wanted to knock this video. I actually recorded it, but when I was editing it, I feel like I left a lot of stuff out. But I was like looking through my phone, and I like seen a lot of like, I watched the videos that I did, and I'm like, yeah, the time was on, but like I feel like I could have gave a little more detail. So that's what we refilming. Okay, but I'm gonna use this phone as like a guide. Basically, I'm gonna go through my camera log. So boom. So if you didn't know, when you're pregnant, and I feel like this has changed, and my son is on the couch right here laying down, but he's moving, so I'm gonna have to snatch him for the video. But if you didn't know, when you're pregnant, you have to wait till you're 10 to 12 weeks before you can basically see the doctor. So everything was good, and around 14 to 20 weeks, they said the baby was big. So they said my son was big. So from 14 to 20 weeks, I already knew that. And if you want to give a reference, I'm 5'2", 5'1.5", 5'2", and so like a big baby for my body. And I have fibromyalgia. If you did not know, if you want some more depth, there are some videos on my channel. So with all that, I did have high blood pressure when I was pregnant too, so all that factored in. So they just monitored me. So when I hit my 3rd trimester, so I believe the month of November and December, I was getting appointments every 2 weeks. I mean, 2 times a week. So usually if you're just a regular, like have normal pregnancy, you get to see your OBGYN once a week, but I got to see them twice a week. So my first appointment was on Monday, and I had a stress test ultrasound, a stress test, a growth ultrasound, and I would see my doctor. And on Thursday, I would have a stress test and another ultrasound. It wasn't a growth ultrasound, it was just another ultrasound to make sure that he's not growing like abnormally. So I'll basically be in the doctor on Monday. Since I had 3 appointments, I'll be in the doctor between 2 to 3 hours, and then on Thursday I would just be in the doctor for like 2 hours. So it was definitely a long process. I would have Kaya with me. They would give snacks. She had her iPad and like that, so she was amazing. There was some times where I had to take both of them because Zion would go to school. There was like, the school was shut because I do live in Alaska, and it was like winter time. So that's the backstory. So November 18th, I remember this clear as day. I was at my appointment, and the lady checked my blood pressure, and she said that it was high, but I already have high blood pressure, so that's not abnormal. So she was like, well, and if you did not know, preeclampsia is actually higher in African American women. So I was already taking a baby aspirin every single day once I hit 13 weeks. Okay, so keep that in mind. So she was like, you have preeclampsia, like you have the signs of preeclampsia. And I'm like, she was asking me all the symptoms, or telling me like, oh, do you have this? Asking me, do you have that? Do you have this? Do you have that? And I'm like, no. So she was like, okay. So she went and talked to the doctor, and she was like, we think you have preeclampsia, so we're gonna go do labs. And so I'm like, so they rushed me to another tower. I think it was like T Tower, and I got my labs done because they needed it right away. So I left that appointment, and she was like, you're on bed rest. So I left. I went to go pick up Zaya, and then I went to Target real quick to grab little things just in case he was gonna be born, because I literally had no idea what was going on. Didn't know what was going on, so I called Omar at work, and I told him what was going on, and I was crying. I was very emotional because I was like, my body's failing me, and if you think like that, don't think like that. Your body's amazing. So I called him. I was crying. He's like, it's gonna be okay. Like, if he has to come today, tomorrow, we're prepared. We already had like his bed car seat, stroller, some clothes, but we didn't have like his bottles washed. We didn't have diapers, didn't have wipes, the things like that. So that's why I was going to Target to get the little thing, so just in case he had to come. So he was at work, called him crying, and then my dad had an appointment that day. So when my dad has an appointment, my whole family goes. If you didn't know, my dad was diagnosed with cancer in 2023, and so he has checkups. And if my whole family can't go, either it'll be like my mom, my dad, and like some siblings. So that he had an appointment the day that I found out I might have preeclampsia. So I didn't want to tell my mom or none of my sisters or anything, because I wanted their attention on my dad, even though that they could have split their attention. I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to know the results before I brought it to people, so that we could have a game plan, basically. So my mom, he can come out tomorrow and it's good. So we started like slowly getting everything ready, like getting bottles, getting my breast pump, getting the house situated. And I'm just gonna tell y'all, my pregnancy was we moved into a 3-story townhome. So I really didn't do nothing like cleaning wise. Like I would come home, I would take Zai to school, come home, get into bed, and then wouldn't get out the bed until dinner time, and then we would go pick up Omar from work. So that was like my activities for today. Unless I had to go to the store or something like that, I really wasn't doing cleaning. Omar would clean when he got off work. Like laundry, I would do laundry, but then I would leave it at the bottom of the stairs and he would bring it up. And he would either bring it up or just bring it up and I would put it away, or he would do both. So I was basically putting myself on light bed rest, but I would still like go take Zaya to school and come back. We were doing DoorDash, Walmart Plus, so the cleaning and everything, I would try to do some things, but I wouldn't like overwhelm myself like how I would if I wasn't pregnant. So the cleaning, Omar kind of took that up, and then on the weekends I literally would stay in bed all weekend. And then like if we wanted to go somewhere, we would, but like I like kind of rest, like I said, put myself on, like during the week it was like light bed rest, and then on the weekend it was like heavy bed rest. I would not get out the bed. I would get out the bed to go pee, come downstairs and eat, and 9 times out of 10 they would bring me my food and take a shower and take baths all day. So that was like, you know, before. So the day before, started cleaning the house, shampooed the couches, you know, did a deep clean all of our sheets and stuff to make sure that it was fresh for baby boy, because my mom was supposed to come here when I was gonna go into labor. So there was a little hiccup with my dad and like him having an appointment. He had an appointment the same day. The next day I was going to the hospital. So I went to the hospital on the 16th. My dad had the doctor's appointment on the 17th. And like I said, my whole family goes, so nobody was able to watch the girls. So the plan was for them to come December 17th at 10 a.m. And y'all go see that in the clips. So we got that straightened out, that they were gonna get dropped off. Omar was gonna go get them and then come back, because our plan, we thought that he was gonna come the 16th, because when I got induced with Kaya, I got induced at 3 p.m. and she came that night. She came at 11. So the 16th rolls around. My best friend's not working because she was on the phone with me. When I had Kaya, she was on the phone with me my whole labor. And so, because none of my family could come in for COVID, so her and her son made a song for me. Every time I would go in to have a contraction, they would sing the song, basically. So she took off work, and then, so I was on the phone with her and my sister on the 16th, like preparing my house. Now my hair wasn't the way it was supposed to be. I looked a hot ass mess, but it's okay. I gave birth. So, my mom meets us at the hospital. We drop off Kaya and Zaya. Zaya had a tough time because she didn't want to leave, but Kaya was like, I'm going to my damn papa house. I'm gonna be well fed. So this house was stocked and like clean just in case my mom needed to come over here. And then so yeah, so we get in, we go, but we go to the desk. You have to call back, you tell them your name, and they open the doors for you. Boom. So I got my weight, all that taken care of. It took them like 4 hours to check me in, really. So I got there at 4 o'clock. I didn't get no medicine, and like she was doing my paperwork and all that until 8. So it was very slow. I feel like the lady, Nurse Holly, she was amazing, but she just took her time with everything. I feel like if they would have given me my medicine like an hour after I got there, I would have had her or had him a little earlier, but I didn't get my medicine until 8. So basically, I met the doctor. She's not the doctor that I had during my whole pregnancy. I met her Thursday. So the Thursday prior, I met her. And she was nice, very friendly vibe. I kind of gave her my expectations of her, and she asked me my expectations of myself, and we got that going. So she came in, she introduced herself because Omar never met her before. So we kind of like both like kind of did the same thing, like our expectations of her and what I want to have a smooth labor. And basically, I didn't have a birth plan. I don't believe in birth plans. If you do it for yourself, that's none of my business. But for me, I'm a person, like I said, if things don't go according to plan, I get flustered and stressed out and annoyed. So for my sanity, Omar's sanity, the doctor's sanity, I feel like I didn't want a birth plan. Whatever happens, happens. As long as I walk out that door with a healthy baby, that's what's going on. Oh, my sister's calling me, but I'm filming, so Mariah, I'm gonna call you back. So let me go grab my son real quick. Okay, Bubba. So we didn't have a birth plan. We just wanted to walk out of the hospital and have a positive experience. I was getting medication, so my epidural, and then so we meet her, and then we also meet like 20 minutes later. We meet the midwife, and basically the OBGYN kind of passed us to the midwife, because there was like the name on the board was the doctor's name, and then after the midwife came in, the name was switched. So the midwife was dope. I go off vibes, I go off like comfortability. And so kind of like after each doctor or nurse left, we kind of like looked at each other and was like, I like her, I can vibe with her type shit. You see what I'm saying? So the midwife, she had a resident, and the midwife looked like Elsa. Like if you think of Elsa, plop that on a human body. That's what the midwife looked like. So basically went over the same thing, and I kind of was nervous about a midwife because when I think of midwife, I think of holistic, I think of no medication, and she was not that. Like she was like, do whatever you want to do. She gave me an option between fentanyl, and then there was another medication. It's a medication that you get at the dentist. So you get at the dentist, but it's a different like ratio. So basically what she explained to me is that it's kind of like the dentist, how you get so high and all of that, but it gets you so high that you don't realize you're in pain. But it's a mask, so you put it on your face, and then when you breathe in the fumes, you don't feel the pain. But as soon as you take that mask off, the pain comes back immediately. So, and it was illegal for Omar to hold the mask to my face when I was having a contraction, because when you're having a contraction, baby, you're not thinking about holding no mask to your face. You're thinking about like, I would hold the bar, and then like Omar would come over and like breathe. That's how I handled my contraction. So it was just not a good option for me, and no. So I'd rather have the fentanyl through the IV, and then it was a dose every hour. And so the first dose, I did half a dose just to see, because I wasn't in excruciating pain, but I was in pain. So I did half a dose, and then 30 minutes later, she came and asked me how I felt, and then I got another half dose. So I only got 2 full doses of fentanyl before I got my epidural. So I waited until I was about 4 or 5 centimeters, I think it was 5 centimeters dilated, to get my epidural. So before I got my epidural, they gave me a drug called, I think it was Meloxin, and with Kaya and Zaya, I was put on Pitocin, but both of my labors, my kid's heart rate dropped, and so I wasn't Pitocin. And what the doctor explained to us is that you don't want to get Pitocin. It's gonna throw contractions at you, but if you're not dilating and your cervix isn't softened, you're 9 times out of 10 gonna get an emergency C-section. And I just did not want an emergency C-section. Now, if it happened, I needed to get it, I needed to get it, but I would try to avoid it at all costs. So they recommended a drug called Meloxin, and it's a liquid medication. In the first 4 doses, you get 20 mLs every hour. So you get one. You get a medication, and then they monitor you, and then so you take 20 mLs, they monitor you for an hour, and then you take 20 mLs, they monitor you for an hour, take 20 mLs. So you get 4 doses of that. So they don't check you unless you request to be checked. After the 4th dose, I request to be checked, because on the 4th dose, they up to you to 40 mLs, and then they give you a dose, they monitor you for 15 minutes, and then you get off the monitor for 2 hours. So you're able to walk around, go boo boo, go whatever you, if you want to take a shower, you can. And I didn't have an epidural for that whole time I was on Meloxin. So I was on Meloxin for almost 8 hours, but I was progressing. So when I hit 5 centimeters, I got my epidural. Currently December 16th. What time is it? We've been here for 4 hours. It's currently 8:48, and we got here at like 4:05. I just got checked, and I was 3 centimeters dilated, and I'm on my second dose of Meloxin. That basically just, it's the booster for Pitocin. So I'm having contractions. The girls with my mother. I did my FaceTime calls for today. I called my sister, my best friend, and yeah, so we just chilling, laughing. We're laughing a lot. Even the nurse is like, this family, we laugh. So we're on our second nurse. The first nurse came in. She did all like my paperwork, got my IV in, and gave me my first dose of the medication. And so we're on our second nurse, which, good vibes. I just took my second dose of the medicine, and that's every single hour. So hopefully we have him tonight. It's already almost 9 o'clock, so we will see if that's the case. I don't have high hopes for him coming tonight, but we will see. Hey guys, it's currently almost 2:25 a.m. I'm having a contraction. And they gave me another dose of fentanyl. I'm currently 4 centimeters dilated, 70% effaced. So the goal is to wait 2 hours, and then they're going to check me again. And if I am dilating, they're going to keep me on this Meloxin. And if not, they are going to switch me to Pitocin. They put me on Meloxin. So now in 2 hours, we're going to go to Pitocin. If I'm not progressing, I am going to get an epidural before the Pitocin, because that's when the big dog comes. And baby, I am not trying to be in no pain. So I have some crackers, cran grape juice, water. Omar's over there laying down, trying to get rest. But every time I get a contraction, he wakes up and like talks me through the breathing. So we have another nurse named Maggie. She's super sweet. Everybody's been so sweet and nice and lovely. So yeah, I'm about to go to sleep. I'm about to turn on House on Amazon Prime, and I'll probably be sleeping about 2.5 seconds, but I will give you guys another update when there's another update to give. And Zaya and Kaya are with my mom and my dad. They'll be here around 9 o'clock, so my mom and dad can go to a doctor's appointment. So we will be seeing them shortly. Hopefully, fingers crossed, baby boy is here before they get here, because I don't want to go into labor and they're here, because that would be nutso. But we're going to sleep. I feel bad because he hasn't slept, but I have slept. So, and by then, this was actually the first labor that Omar was actually able to come into the surgical field. So Omar sat in front of me. The table was brought up, so I was able to put my feet on his knees, and then the nurse held me like this, like, so I was hunched over. So we were just cracking jokes. One thing about us, we gonna laugh. During the contraction, obviously you're not laughing, but as soon as that contraction's done, we dying laughing. The nurse is laughing. We just kicking it, talking, to the point where the anesthesiologist was like, I don't want to leave y'all room. Y'all so funny. Like, you guys are so funny. I don't want to leave. Like, I just want to stay here and chat with y'all. So we, after the epidural worked on my right side, but it didn't work. No, it didn't work on my right side, but it worked on my left side real good. So my right side, I could still feel, but like, I had to really think about moving my leg type John. I wish my whole body, my lower extremities were numb all the way. So after my epidural, we go to sleep, and we're eating like crackers and stuff like that. So after you get your epidural, baby, no eating, nothing, no eating, nothing. You can have clear liquids, popsicles, ice chips, juice, chicken broth, but that's after you get your epidural. You can have can only have liquids. So I was like, after my epidural, I went to sleep. You know, I went to sleep, and then the doctor would come in and like check on me. But since I was sleeping, like they didn't really need to bother me. So shift change. So we've had the nurse that checked us in. She left, and then overnight, she so 12 hours went back. So when she came back on shift, she was there. So once I turned 8 centimeters, so I was sleeping when the doctor came in. So it's a 24-hour shift change. So it was a male doctor on call, and he had the same resident that the midwife had. So it was the same lady. So that was kind of comforting to see her face. So she and him checked me, and he was like 8 centimeters. So he met Omar. And I don't like male doctors, but it gets to a point in your labor where you're just like, get the baby out of me type John. So hold on, y'all. So he's checking me at 8 centimeters, and let me see. So, because I have my phone and I recorded a lot of my stuff, because with labor you kind of forget things. Yeah, 9 a.m. is when they checked me and said I was 8 centimeters. So when I was asleep, before the doctor checked me, when they woke me up to talk to me, I felt liquid, but I'm like, I can't feel nothing because I have a catheter in, and so I'm like, I can't feel, like, it felt wet, but I didn't think anything of it. So before he checked me, he explained that they're gonna break my water and then go from there. But when they checked me, to determine how many centimeters I was, that's when they're like, oh, your water broke. And I'm like, oh, okay. So after that, and my other 2 labors, they had to break my water. So it was kind of cool that they didn't have to break my water. So he explained that on the 8 centimeters, they were gonna potentially give me Pitocin. This was before they checked me. They were like, well, we're gonna potentially start you on Pitocin, and then they checked me at 8, and they're like, no, we don't need to, since you're progressing from 5 to 8. So then that was at 9:04 a.m. and then we went back to sleep, and the nurse came back in to like just see if I needed anything or whatever. And 9:50, they put me into a seating position. My mom, my sister, Mariah, they always told me to get into a sitting position. So how you sit in a chair is how you're gonna sit in the bed. The bed moves. So y'all, I gotta go to the bathroom. So Nurse Holly was like, and I was like, all the other times a doctor has checked me, so I asked her, I'm like, are you able to check me? She was like, yes, I can check you. So the male doctor was already gone. So the resident was there and Nurse Holly was there. So I was like, yeah, I need to be checked. And she's like, well, you were just checked, so do you really need to go? And I was like, I gotta go boo-boo. So I feel like I need to be checked. So she was like, okay, boom. So Omar, he was like, okay, you're about to get checked. Let me just run to the T station. So the T station is literally maybe 15 steps from my room, maybe 10 to 15 steps. You can clearly see it. It's right there. It's literally in the same square. So I'm like, I really gotta go. And they taking their sweet time putting their gloves on. And so the way the bed is, I'm just laying in the bed. They're leaning me back. The resident is on my left side. Nurse Holly, she is over there. And so when they pull the blanket off, mind you, my feet are to my soles are together. My legs are spread, the butterfly position. Some doctors will have you put your hand under your booty cheek, your fist, but I didn't need to do that. And she was like, oh, his head is right there. Okay, guys, so she just like pulled the blanket and his head is there. So she's running to grab the doctor so that we can go ahead and start pushing. And I'll give you guys a better update when we go upstairs. And I'm like, yeah. And as soon as she said that, I don't know what clicked in my brain, but I had to push so bad. It was like, okay, it's go time. But they were like, wait. So they was calling the doctor. The doctor was upstairs. The phone kept saying, call failed. So Nurse Holly over there, she's standing right there. She's stuck. She's screaming for nurse. So 3 nurses running after she's screaming. I asked one nurse to go get Omar. Mind you, I don't think he got to the T station yet. So she asked one of the nurses to go get him. And she's like, where is he? I'm like, at the T station. He's right there. So she's running to go get them, to go get him. The RN, she's still there. She's like, I'm like, I have to push. I can't hold it. And she's like, don't hold it. Just, so I'm like trying to hold the push in because I want Omar to be here. And literally, have you ever held in, like, have you ever, like, you run to the bathroom and you trying to keep that shit in? That's what I was really trying to do. And because the doctor wasn't there either. So the doctor, it's just the nurse, the RN, and the resident. So by the time Omar came back, the resident was able to put her gloves on and the baby was out. He just fell. He like plopped on the bed and she was right there to get him. So by the time Omar came back into the room, they was pulling him out and putting him on my chest. It didn't click to him because I have the recording. And I put my phone up to record the audio. Like, it's the camera, but like it's pointing to the ceiling. But you're gonna hear him like, what's going on, what's going on? And I'm like, and then he's like, oh, you had the baby? You had Omar?
Did she grab Omar? What was that? Did she grab Omar? Oh yeah, where is he? I think he's getting tea. He's getting tea.
Do you want the hospitalist?
Oh no, we're gonna
My goodness, good job.
Let's get him out.
Okay, the whole time I thought you were just checking it.
I know. She did. Right when you walked out, she's like, he's here. His head is right there.
Oh, much better. Did you want to cut the cord, Omar?
Yes.
Omar's coming back into the room and he's like, what happened? So he thought that they were going to get, he didn't know. Because he was like, why is like her being checked? Why is a nurse coming to get me for that? So he comes back in and he's like, oh, you had him already? And he cuts the umbilical cord. It was very like, boom. I think all of this happened within like a minute span. So, as soon as he comes out, I was laughing. Like, we were just joking, like, what the heck? So the doctor moseys on in after I already gave birth, and he's like, I thought something was up because I seen the fetal monitor upstairs was going crazy. So he's like, yeah, I slowly was coming down here to check everything out. You should have put a pep in your step, sir. So he birthed the placenta. I did have a few hemorrhages, so they had to give me shots of Pitocin to slow down my bleeding. So I gave birth at 9:57, and I didn't go up to mother and labor or mother and baby until 1:30 because they had to get the bleeding under control. So they had to check me every 15 minutes and push on my stomach to make sure that like the blood was slowing down. So there was that. So then they made me like a mocktail, a cheese board, just to like, cause I was starving, like Marvin, I was starving. So yeah, so Omar cut the umbilical cord. I got a video of that. The nurse was like, let me record it for you guys. So that was amazing. Shout out to Holly Boo. And then they kind of like left the room fast, like the RNs, because there was really nothing to clean up. The bed didn't get changed out, nothing. I did not tear. He was 7 pounds 15 ounces and 19.5 inches. And so I was knocked out. After I gave birth, y'all, he ate 3 times, and then like Omar and the nurse went over there and like gave him his shots and all that, the stuff in the eye and all that. Baby, I was sleep knocked. And so when he got his shot, baby, I looked up and was like, why is my son crying? And they're like, it's okay, it's a shot. I'm like, oh, okay. And I went back to sleep. I was exhausted. And so yeah, after that we did Omar. Did you do skin to skin with Omar downstairs? Did you do skin to skin with baby Omar? Yeah. So yeah, Omar did skin to skin with him, and then he didn't eat until like the next day. No, later that day he ate. But so yeah, it was a pretty cool experience, and good thing Zion Kai did not come because literally right when they were supposed to come, I gave birth. Like a few minutes, I gave birth at 9:57. They were supposed to come at 10 o'clock. So my sister did bring them later at around 4 or 4:30 that day. Kaya, Saya, were you crying? Or you just tired? Oh, hi, look, who's that? Who's this?
Can you give it to mom?
But yeah, that was my birthing experience. Super easy, super peasy, super lemon squeezy. I just believe for me and myself, don't have a birth plan. That if my biggest recommendation to mothers out there, do not have a birth plan. Go with the flow. I was also scared. Like I was having really bad nightmares about 2 weeks prior to giving birth that I was like gonna die in labor. So that was a big thing. And so that was, yeah, Omar was very peaceful. Like I said, we were joking. Whenever he could get, like, we could get a nap, we did. I was watching my show on Amazon. He was watching YouTube. So we would just chill. And when it was time for contractions, he would get up, help me out, and then we would lay back down. I did drink a lot of water. My milk did come in about, y'all, my milk came in at 20 weeks. I would be leaking all the time, like, to the point where I was about to start buying pads for my bra because it was crazy. I would expel the milk when I was in the shower because it was nuts, so hard as a rock. So my milk was already came in, so like that wasn't a problem. I actually have an oversupply, which I'm very grateful for. We had a positive birthing experience. They wanted us, they did mess up in the hospital, so they came in and they were like, if you lose 10% of your birth weight, then you guys have to stay, basically, and you have to do a lactation consultant, make sure he's eating properly. And so the lady, she put in, oh, Mark, you're making fun of me. She put in that he lost, what, 9% of his body weight? It was like 8 point something, so that we would have to stay in the hospital again. But then we were like, wait, come to find out she messed up, and you have to put he lost 2.3% of his body weight. So he did really good. We all did really good. I'm very proud. We had such a great time. It was a positive birthing experience. I think all of our kids had really good birthing experience, but this one was the best. And I was like send text messages to everybody, updates, FaceTime and everybody, but I'm gonna put all the videos in. I got videos of like, I'm not gonna put the picture in the video of his umbilical cord because my baby naked. We're not doing that. Very, very ghetto. So yeah, we had a perfect time. And look at my son, he's so cute. Ah! He's so handsome, y'all. He's such a little chunky monkey. He eats about 10 ounces he eats about 7 ounces every feed. I am pumping, but like I said, I'm gonna do a different like video about pumping. I've always been an oversupplier, y'all. My armpit was swollen because of how much milk. I would literally have to pump like 10 times a day. I was pumping at least 15 to 20 ounces each pump. It was nutso. And yeah, y'all, this is my last baby. It's kind of like with Zion Kai, I was like, yeah, done. But like this one, I'm very like, but I'm so glad I have my son. I didn't know we needed it, but he's here, and I'm like, y'all, it's like different. It's different. I love all my kids. My kids, I know they're not my best friends, but they are, because one thing about it, I ride for my kids. But it's just nice to have a son, and I'm like, I asked my mom, like, this is how you feel when males have daughters. It's like a different love, and when mamas have sons, it's just a different love. So peace, love, and happiness. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see labor and delivery videos for my other 2 kids, I will definitely go ahead and do that. Yeah, I'm fulfilled. I'm happy. I think we're all just happy that we have a boy. And yeah, peace, love, and happiness.